What is up guys, this is Myth here back with another 7 night video. I know I was going to study today because my exam is coming tomorrow, but Global and Asia server just both finished their weekly maintenance and just wow, there's so much new contents being released. Of course with the new X4 Lord Teal, he has just been released as well. So I just wanted to do a quick and short video, just quickly go through, in my opinion, the 3 major changes that's going to affect everyone's gameplay as well as contributing to the current PvP meta. I know there are a lot of other changes such as the new Advent Dungeon that you can get A's, or how they make World A, 9, 10. They divide them into easy and normal mode with 3-star clearance reward and the boost mode for farming adventure modes. But I mean, those PvE contents, you can pretty much read up the information on the official website. I'll put a link down below in the description if you haven't read about them, and I'm sure there are other YouTubers will go through those PvE contents. But the main point for this video I want to do is for 3 major changes. The first one being Mastery. Second one, I'm going to do a quick spotlight on Teal, and thirdly, I'm going to talk about the changes to Lethal, so both weapon and the gem, and what's going to affect the current PvP meta. So firstly, Masteries. In my opinion, so they released level 80 to level 110, and I pretty much just maxed them out straight away. In my opinion, this is the most important for this update, way more important than Teal. Firstly, I know there are 2 useless masteries. Pretty much this one increase the gold drop rate, plus this one increase a hero or what's it called, item drop rate increase, and they cost a lot of ruby. But I mean, the rest 5 masteries will help you a lot progress throughout the game. So in total, I spent 6,650 rubies. That's what I think I spent, but my math is not very good. But I think 6,650 rubies to maxed from level 80 to level 110. And let's look at the masteries. So the first one, increased lethal attack 10% and or increased block rate 10%. So pretty good, similar to the previous masteries, 10% difference. Second one, however, decreased speed attack of enemies by 10% and decrease the crit rate of enemies by 20%. This is such important mastery for the current meta, the speed meta, because it enables you go first in a lot of circumstances when opponents has higher speed than you. Because say the max speed, I think a lot of people currently 405 speed, 10% of that is 40.5 speed. That's just huge, okay? And thirdly, decrease the block rate by 20% or decrease the counter rate by 20%. Counter rate also plays a very important role in the current meta, so it's very important to get this mastery. And this 2 I'm not going to talk about, it's pretty much useless. And level 105, decrease skill cooldown time of heroes by 5%. 5% might not seem to be such a big impact, but trust me, sometimes 5% makes such a difference. And lastly, level 110, increase the physical and magic attack of heroes by 20%, or increase the defense of heroes by 10%, and 20% all damage, all attack. Is just so massive in both PvE and PvP. So in my opinion, it's just very important for you to max level 80 to level 110 if you have the ruby. Put this as your priority, not summon Teal. So I'll show you what's the impact like in an arena. So basically I'm using the exact same lineup, and let's just give it a go. Okay, I'm versing this guy from Valor. If he hasn't maxed his mastery, then I'll definitely go first. Wow, look at that damage. One shot a level 40 Elaine. Yep, I go first. you see what the lethal changes, because what happens is now Lubu has a passive increased self 50% lethal, so lethal attack right now they copy Korean, which pretty much make prioritize to use the hero skill as soon as it comes off cooldown. So Lubu obviously has the highest lethal in my whole team, so he will always use his skills first. So I'll go to details when I talk about the lethal changes, but right now you can just have a look, see what's the impact of the new mastery gonna be like. I think I can beat this guy pretty much quite easily. Okay, so that's just Lubu and Ace left, and Lubu's silenced and he's dead. Not dead, but now he's dead. And Ace is dead. Yeah, so the Masteries definitely helps a lot. I mean, it's just small sample size, but you know what, let's just go to another battle. Okay, let's have another quick battle. So I'm going against my guildie, OP Django, and he's way above me in arena ranking. And I don't think he has maxed his masteries yet. So my Lubu, oh okay, my Rose moves, that's interesting. So I guess 50% passive doesn't guarantee you move first. Alright, there you go, Lubu. Your Link's dead. Oh, my front line both gonna die. That's okay. Yeah, without a damage boost, it's a bit hard. Well, he's gonna beat me, I think. Maybe not, because none of his heroes got voice shield left. And both my backlines still got voice shield. Yep, it's another win. So yeah, you can see the Masteries definitely helped me so much. And I mean, even if you pull a single teal out of 6,650 rubies, it's not gonna help you much. And definitely prioritize your rubies and Masteries. Okay, so that's that. Secondly, I want to quickly go through Teal and his skills. So he's on a special hero, full load of old. Teal, look at that, he's so cool. And I really like his skill, like how he crits. Let's put it on double speed. And this skill, Eclipse Slash. Wow, look at that. It's just so awesome. And the first skill, the animation, so awesome. Oh well, anyways, let's go through his skills. Firstly, he's got 31 speed, same as Dylan's, so it's a very speed unit for the current meta. Passive, becomes immune to all damage 3 times, immunity 3 times. Wait a minute. Becomes immune to all damage 3 times. Okay, I thought it's an immunity, but it seems like a voice shield of 3 times. Okay, additional revive once for 3 turns. Apply critical hit and ignores the enemy's defense for normal attacks, including counter and speed attack. So basically, he can survive at least 7 hits, unless you buff reduce him when he becomes a zombie. And his normal attack will hit really hard. So I think double speed, double counter for him. And the passive is pretty strong. Zombie for 3 turns. In Korea they have him immune to CC as well, but on global it doesn't have it yet, so there you go. The first skill inflicts 70% physical damage on all enemies 2 times, so 2 parallel hits. Reduce voice shield by 2 hits. Additionally, reduce enemy's buff duration by 2 turns. So when he uses skill, basically your Black Rose beat them, their voice shield from 3 hits gonna get reduced to only 1 hit left, and it also reduces enemy's buff duration by 2 turns, like Ace, Blossom, Slash. So it's a very good utility skill, and this skill, Talon Strike, inflicts 100% physical damage on all enemies, additionally Pierce. In Korea, this one also guaranteed crit, but they don't have it here. So a 5-man AoE plus Pierce, pretty strong. I mean, if you really look closely to his kit, it's pretty good, but it's not overly amazing just yet. I know Korea, they give him a little revamp and make him a little bit stronger, but on global, I think his kit right now is not very amazing, but that's just my opinion. So let's look at his stat. Level 40 plus 5. He's very squishy, but that's okay because you want him to die to get to zombie mode anyways, and he's got voice shield, so it doesn't matter. 1910 attack and 31 speed, almost 1k defense. Let's compare his stats to say Lubu, okay? So let's go to Lubu. Okay, so Lubu is pretty much 1000 HP higher than him, and has less attack, higher defense, and pretty much a lower speed. So yeah, so I guess Teal, his skills will hit really hard. He's gonna be, I think, pretty much a backliner, and also he's missing one of the passive that's immune to reflect damage in a row. So I think if he's got that skill, you might want him to be a frontliner to counter Jave and Nerja comes. So your voice shield units such as Black Rose, Lubu, Bidem, when they use this skill, their voice shield don't get taken out by the reflection. But right now he doesn't have that thing, and I think he'll definitely become a backline unit. And I think he will take out Bidem, because he is pretty much going to replace Bidem. So that means he is 1 speed slower than Bidem, but I think his normal attack will hit harder, in my opinion, because of higher base attack, and put him as a single backline with voice shield at the front. So I guess if you want to go a voice shield speedy team, that would be his role, in my opinion. Okay, so that's that. And lastly, I want to talk about the lethal changes. Basically, right now, lethal only, what it does is make your champion prioritize the lower HP target or the non-immunity target. Such as when you see Soy, if we go to Soy, Asher with Soy, Western Empire here. So hard shot, attack an enemy with 100% 80 physical attack, additionally active lethal attack. So if you have a Soy and you see whenever she uses hard shot, she never ever attacks an immunity unit. She always attack non-immunity unit, because that's what lethal does. And another thing lethal does, so aim lower HP plus target non-immunity target. Yeah, I think that's what lethal does currently, but basically with this change, they're gonna make it like Korea. So basically lethal is going to make your heroes prioritize their skills as soon as they come off cooldown. So like Rudy and Guan Yu, when they always use their shield up, or Guan Yu's AoE voice shield, that's like prioritize their skills. So lethal is going to do the same thing. So basically if you go to Lubu and look at him, he's got passive increased lethal attack by 50%. So if he's the only one in your team that with this passive and no one else is using lethal weapon or lethal gem, there's a big chance that Lubu will use both of his skills before anyone in your team moves and use their skills. So with high level transcended Lubu users, that's a really good news. So you probably want to do, apart from the 50% lethal attack, you also want to give him a lethal gem, which adds another 20%. So you almost guarantee he will always move first. And that's pretty much what they're doing now in Korea is with the frontline units, they still go, no, with every single unit, still double speed weapon to make sure you can get a first turn. And with their backline damage dealer, they give him a lethal gem so he can prioritize his skill first compared to the rest of the team. So that's pretty much what they're doing now in Korea. But I don't think Global has to copy exactly the same setup, because I'm not sure if, say, 20%, say if it's a 20% gem, you put it on a random unit, it gives 20% more chance to move your first skill compared to the rest of the units, or is it because you have 20% and you have more lethal than every single other unit on your team, so you will always use your skill first? I don't think that's the case, because as you can see from my second fight, which I showcased, my Black Roast used her skill before Lubu, so I think you want as much lethal on your main unit as possible if you want him to use his skill. So aim for 100%, I say. But a lot of people will argue, because right now everyone's damage is still so high. If you put 2 lethal weapon on one of your units, that means opponents guaranteed to move first. And I mean, if opponent Lubu moves first and he uses his AoE piercing, that's pretty much all your non-revive, non-voice shield unit, they're gonna die. So, but that's very interesting, because I think because of that, turtle teams, I think, will make a very strong comeback. It's just my theory, because you think about it, if you have a turtle team that can withhold the first turn of Lubu's skill and not die, and then you have a double lethal plus lethal gem on someone like Yushin, and then he's not gonna die, and he's gonna use lightning strike first turn, and that's just pretty much a guaranteed win, even you're using a turtle team. So I think if you're using a turtle team, I'm not sure how that's gonna go with Rudy's shield up and Guan Yu's AoE voice shield. Do they still have priority over, say, your 64% plus 20%, 84% lethal Yushin, his lightning strike? But people, please test it out. If you have both Rudy and Yushin, give Yushin double lethal plus gem and see if Yushin uses his skills before Rudy's shield up. I think it's highly possible. If that's the case, I think, in my opinion, a tank team, and you just give Yushin as much lethal as you can, and it's a very, very good counter to the current speed voice shield meta, because you have pretty much 30 seconds to take out as many voice shield as you can. And also, if you use a turtle team with Rudy, he is also a very good counter to Teal, because Teal's zombie mode is 3 turns, and Rudy will always prioritize, I think, his skill that buff reduce 3 turns to zombie units. So as soon as Teal pops zombie, Rudy can just take him out. So I think turtle team will become very viable. And even though, say, Yushin's not tanking enough to live, if you have Nerja or Teal, you give them a lot of lethal, and they use their skill, which reduce voice shield by 2 hits. That's also a super good counter to the current speed voice shield meta. So test it out, guys. And just to conclude my video, if you have the Ruby sitting around saved up, spend them on Masteries first. They will definitely help you the most. And if you have some Ruby lying around, then go have some fun. Try to summon teal. If you get teal, you're extremely lucky. If you don't get teal, that's okay because you still have your Masteries maxed. And so yeah, just want to emphasize the lethal changes and its impact gonna be to the current PvP meta and how turtle teams going to make a strong comeback. So people with 40 Rudy, it's your time to shine and test the teams out. And this is going to be the end of my video, and hope you guys find my information useful, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.